bunch of times in my life, and I would say, I really want to get up every day and meditate, and I want to be super into it, but it just never happened. I would say I was going to meditate, and I would try it for like 2 minutes, and then I'd be like, okay, maybe I'll like it tomorrow. And it wasn't until very recently something clicked, and I can honestly say that it has completely changed my life. I wanted to share it with you because I feel like there's this idea about meditation that you can only be into it if you've been practicing it for years, or if you're some spiritual master, and that's so not true. I think some people also think you need to practice it for like an hour a day, and that's also not true. Everybody has a reason why they want to meditate, and I think that all of those reasons are completely valid. So never feel like you can only meditate if you're like a spiritual person or whatever. Anyone can meditate, you just have to want to do it. There's so many ways you can meditate. I think that the most common way is to just sit cross-legged with your hands on your knees or your hands facing upwards. It kind of just depends what I find most comfortable that day. Like today I did palms up, but most times I do palms down. So it just kind of depends for me. I usually meditate after I work out because I find that having all those endorphins like going through my body, like meditating right after that is a really good way to do it. I've been meditating after I work out, sometimes before I shower, sometimes after, it depends. And all I do is I get in really comfortable clothing so that I don't have anything like, pressing or distracting me. And I don't put a timer on or anything. I usually just sit until I feel like I've sat long enough. So I just sit comfortably in a seated position with my back straight up against the wall, and I almost lean into the wall a little bit, and I find that takes some of the strain off my back, because when you're first starting to meditate, it can be really hard on your back if you're not used to sitting up straight for long periods of time, which a lot of us aren't. And before I sit to meditate, I'll do some hip and leg stretches to open up my hips, because when you're sitting cross-legged for a while, your hips can get kind of stiff. A pigeon is really good, king pigeon, reclined, or not reclined pigeon, laying down pigeon, what is that called? I don't know. Some like nice forward bends just with your legs in a diamond shape or your legs crossed. And then I also do one where I stack one of my legs on top of the other one and I fold forward over it, and that's really nice to open up the outside of your hips and the inside of your hips too. That being said, like that's what I do and that's what I find really comfortable, but you can meditate however you want. Just get in a position that's comfortable, but not so comfortable like you're gonna fall asleep, obviously. The next thing I do is just close my eyes, and then I just breathe. I don't really know how else to explain it other than you just have to breathe. I know a lot of people say, I can't quiet my mind, I can't quiet my thoughts, like my mind's always racing, but the point of meditation is that it's going to help with that. It happens to everyone. Don't feel bad about it, but do try and recognize when you do that so that you can just keep bringing yourself back. And I think that's most of the practice, is just realizing when your mind is wandering and bringing yourself back. So a good thing that I do to try and stop my mind from wandering, I've heard people say you can count slowly up to 10 and then just restart once you get to 10, and just keep doing that as a way to keep your mind busy and just kind of keep the rhythm of everything going. But what I actually like to do is to say a mantra. So a mantra can be literally anything you want it to be. I even find it kind of sets the tone for my meditation. So if one day I'm feeling really like flighty and like I have a ton of stuff to do and I feel kind of panicky about it or anxious, I'll say something like, I'm grounded, I'm calm, I'm balanced. I'm grounded, I'm calm, I'm balanced. And I just repeat those 3 words, because those 3 words, when I think them, they already make my body calmer. So I just kind of repeat those words over and over in my head, and I just breathe. So I might take like a breath per word, or I might say them on the breath in and then say them on the breath out. in my head, not out loud, but you can say it out loud if you want. And that, I find, keeps my mind from wandering, and it just really helps set the tone for that meditation. So I don't really have a certain length of time that I think you should meditate, and I actually don't know how long I meditate. I think the longest I've meditated might have been 20 minutes, and I didn't even realize. I might have fallen asleep. I don't even know how it was that long, but I looked at my phone and I was like, was I just sitting there for 20 minutes? I really don't think that the time matters. It's so personal, and I feel like some days I feel like I want to just be there for a long time. I get so comfortable, I'm not hurting anywhere. Like, I'm just so perfectly fine being there for a long time, but sometimes I just want a shorter meditation, and that's fine too. I just want to touch on how it's helped me, because it has just had such a profound difference in this short amount of time. I honestly can't believe it, and I just want everyone to experience that, which is why I'm making this video. Meditating for me just makes me so calm, and I have the type of personality where I like to take on a lot of things at once, but then I can easily get really overwhelmed if I have too many things to do and not enough time to do them. But honestly, meditating has just made me so calm and just so clear in my brain and in my body of what I want, when I want it, and what I want to be doing, how I want to do it, all of that. So an example that I used in my other video was that I started shooting for my ebook that day, and normally, you know, like a few days before I started meditating, I was feeling kind of stressed about it. I was like, oh, what if this doesn't turn out how I'm picturing, or what if this doesn't turn out as good as I'm hoping, and, you know, what if the recipes end up being really shitty? But then the day that I started shooting, I meditated that morning, and it was like night and day. My sister was like, did you do something different? Like, what? You're acting different. You're so calm. Yeah, I just wanted to share that meditation for me, it just sets the tone for my day, and already if I don't meditate that day, I can feel the difference. Yes, I hope that that helps you guys. Does that make sense? Yeah, I hope that that helps you guys. I hope that you guys try meditation, and there's lots and lots of like resources. I can link a bunch of stuff in the description box that might help you, but I just kind of wanted to make it clear that you don't have to be some spiritual person or yogic master, anything like that. You can just sit down or lay down or sit in a chair and start breathing and start meditating, and you can just be someone that meditates. There's no, like, you don't have to do anything special. It's just something that's so accessible and so easy, and anyone can do it. So I hope that was helpful. My camera's gonna die. I love you guys, and I will see you guys next time.